We try this again. Streamlabs will hopefully not freak out again. Freaked out yesterday and I uninstalled it, reinstalled it. We do, but one's old. She can't get out. Sorry. Hey, my bit rate's better. Sorry, our neighbor knocked on the door, thought our dog got out. 1 second here. We're back. One second. Thank you. Pointing out the audio. Streamlabs has not been my friend lately. We had a big glass jar break, like that, kind of like that one that's sitting there by my microwave. You can't see it. There's a big glass jar with some milk in it. My daughter accidentally dropped one on the floor, and we have glass everywhere. So, trying to get that cleaned up. I'm not too bad. How are you? Just waiting. Yeah, my boys and I went and cut a little bit of wood earlier. I was going to stream yesterday, but Streamlabs freaked out. And all I'm doing is baking chocolate cake with a chocolate ganache. So it won't take me more than probably about an hour or so. So it probably won't be on super long. I know it's outside my normal hours, but I only planned on basically one thing since it's later in the afternoon for me. But yeah, we had to go get some wood. My poor husband is freezing. Huh, baby?
Not now.
Not now. He's got wood. He's got a fire going. He's set. It's not too bad outside right now, but it was only in the 20s Fahrenheit this morning, so that's still negatives in the Celsius. Yay. I went for a run this morning after I dropped my granddaughter off at school, so it was chilly. I had to have my hands in my sleeves because they were freezing. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get started on this. Where's my recipe? I've only made this I want to say one other time. So I have a little bit of a recipe. That'd be nice. It's probably actually pretty close to that now here. I want to say it's... I want to say... Yeah, it's 55 Fahrenheit here. So it's pretty close. All right. At 12, almost 13 Celsius. So, yeah. So you're a little warmer than us. That'd be nice. Oh, baby.
What's that?
He's still trying to pick up glass. It's a little warmer over where he is.
Where does he live? In Hawaii?
No. He lives over in Turkey, correct?
Turkey?
Yeah.
It should be pretty nice over there this time of year.
Well, he says it's 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
thought
yeah.
so. Yeah, so it's in the 60s.
Yeah, I'd like to be there.
All right, so I gotta sift my flour, baking powder, and cocoa powder and everything. I don't have a normal sifter because I'm cheap and this works. So I'm just gonna sift everything through here. Ah, okay. Yeah, he says the same. The part that he's in has the same climate as Greece and Italy, which would be nice. Oh, I bet. Okay. Flour. Which do I need here? 1 3/4 cup. Cup. 1/4. And let's see, how much cocoa powder do I need? 2/3. Hey, Dahlia. I'm sorry, I cannot hear. I don't have my headphones plugged into my laptop, but thank you for the resub. I appreciate it. 14 months. Wow. Does your wedding happen soon, right? Like October? Yeah, I bet. I know your wedding's gonna be coming up soon. Hey, the Midnight Train. Oh, thank you for the follow. I'm not playing League right now, or I would let you pick my champ. Probably tomorrow I'll be playing League, so. Oh, you pushed it back to 2026. Okay, okay. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, I hope he feels better soon. Yeah, that's like the same with my husband here, having to have surgery on his arm. I don't want to tap this against the side and have it, because it's going to be really loud. I've been there and done those types of things. This would be faster if I used an actual sifter, but I'm cheap. This works. And it's cheaper. Cocoa powder over here. This can be done. 1 teaspoon of, oops, sorry, those are really loud. I like them, but they're loud. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. One teaspoon of baking soda. Yeah, I'm not patient either. I'm not patient, but I'm also cheap, so that's a good idea, Ozzy. I'll remember that for next time. All right. Okay. Thought so. 1 cup of sugar. Then 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Anybody watching knows, if you don't know, always pack your brown sugar. Always. Always pack it, because otherwise it doesn't fill up the space and you don't get the correct amount. Right. With this, 3/4 of a teaspoon salt. Everything goes flying in this mixer. I like it, but everything goes flying when you put it in here like this. Dry ingredients will just go. I could see that. Like plaster, right? Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna put my eggs, put my wet ingredients in here. 2 eggs. This one calls for sour cream. It's a kind of a different type of recipe, so. Half a cup of vegetable oil. I have this big old giant thing of vegetable oil because I have a deep fryer. And I have to change out the oil every once in a while. Half a cup of vegetable oil. 3/4 of a cup sour cream. Trying not to make that make so much noise. Okay. That one was plenty. All right. I wasn't sure if that one would be enough since it was partially empty. We have a lot of, since we don't eat meat, we eat a lot of like Mexican type food. Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and even I like the brown sugar when it gets too dry, even I have trouble with that. You're supposed to like heat it up in the microwave a little bit at a time. And I can get it to work, kind of, but it's never that great. Usually if it gets too dry, I just throw it out because it's just not good anymore. All right, put this down. Vanilla. Forgot my vanilla. How dare I forget vanilla? It's like one of the most important parts, especially for me. Oh, I'm gonna need this later. Might as well leave it. And then this is the weirdest thing about this. Calls for 1 cup of hot coffee. Oddly enough. It says you can use espresso powder if you don't have any coffee. And I don't know why it's got to be hot, but it says be hot. So. But the coffee and the sour cream actually kind of smells good together. Maybe a little, but it's not that hot. Looks pretty good. I haven't made this exact one. I've made chocolate cake before, but I haven't made this exact recipe. And I like this bowl because it has a handle, but there's a spot in the bottom that has a dip. Hi. Yeah? You're gonna go get some milk? Yeah?
Be careful, there's still glass in there.
She's got her shoes on, babe. It's fine. And she's carrying the baby.
I figured there might be, that's why I was holding the baby.
All right. Should be pretty good. It is. And even it's all like super low, so all the ingredients go flying. I mean, it's a nice mixer. It's just an older one because I got it at a yard sale, so I got it used. But I didn't want to spend $350 on one. That's what they usually go for. So I was like, I'll take this one from a yard sale.
Everybody be fixed it too.
Yep. Yeah, so I have to try and be careful and turn it on low, and I got cocoa powder everywhere too. All right. I already greased my pans before I started, so got my oven on, got it ready. Rinse the water running in there while I level these. Not too bad. Actually, don't need this one in my ear here. Put this back in here. I was listening to music earlier. I went for a run after I took my granddaughter to school. Timer for about 30 minutes here. Shouldn't be too much longer than that. All right. So, what I'm going to do now, rinse this real quick. This real quick because I'm going to need it in a little bit. I'm going to start on my cherries that I'm going to put in the middle. And then I have to make some whipped cream. also put in the middle. But I didn't want to buy cherry pie filling because a lot of cherry pie filling has dye in it. Go figure. Cherries aren't red enough, I guess. So they put dye in it, and then my granddaughters can't eat any of it because my daughter doesn't want them to have dye. So I'm just gonna make my own cherry filling. Yes, and it's in so much here. I mean, a lot of the stuff that's going on with our government here in the United States is nuts right now, but I gotta try and take the small wins, and if they manage to get rid of food coloring, a lot of the food coloring that they put here in the States in our food, I'd be okay with that. I mean, take one small win where you can get it, right? Did I cut that far enough? I did. Take the little wins where you can get it. Probably don't need all of these, but I'm going to use them anyway. I put this sour cream away. Stay. Alright, I'm going to put a little bit of lemon juice here. I don't have any orange juice. Usually I would use orange. Orange and cherry is really good, but I just don't have any because orange juice has gotten outrageously expensive here too. So I'm going to use a little bit of lemon, and then I'm going to use some sugar. They're having a problem with orange trees over in Florida. Don't need that much. And they're dying from this disease. So yeah, I actually have a sister who is, and always has been, allergic to red dye number 5. So when I was a kid, she's allergic to so much, but when I was a kid, we'd have to go read the ingredients on everything at the store to see what she could have and what she couldn't. Because there was so much she couldn't have. And you just sit there and go, okay, yeah, this one has red dye number 5 in it, so we can't get this one, and yeah. All kinds of fun stuffs. Alright, well that's starting to get going. I'm going to start on my whipped cream. Which is super easy. Whipped cream is super easy. I like to make my own whipped cream. For the whipped cream, I need the whipped one. There we go. Vanilla. I like to add a little vanilla to mine. Yes. In most European countries. Just not here in the United States. That should be good. That'll make a lot of whipped cream, actually. Sugar. That should be good. Here's me eyeballing stuff again. I think 3 has been banned here in the United States. It's just 5 and 40 that they still use. You want to know what the funniest thing is that those red dyes have been outlawed in makeup for years. But you can still put it in our food. Makes complete total sense, right? Really? They allow you to have 40 per person in use? What for? I mean, really, what do you even use it for? I mean, coloring eggs or something? I don't know. I do know that, like, we tried to use, like, some natural food coloring for, my granddaughter's birthday cake, and you cannot get certain colors to come out. Yes, I know. They are very weird. Yummy. See, it's a little juicy, so I might add a little bit of cornstarch just to thicken those cherries up. Voila! Perfection. Yummy. I don't like sweet stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. I love homemade whipped cream. I gotta work on this stuff first because I got to wait till the cake to be done before I can work on the chocolate ganache, because otherwise it gets too cold. No, you see 3 pineapples. Got them on sale yesterday at the store. So there's a 3rd one laying down over there. Yeah, I gotta cut those up too. But I have this really neat little thing that cores it and cuts it. They're super nice. I'm sure you have them over there. Yummy. Put this in the fridge real quick till I'm ready for it. Cherries down here. Yeah, definitely gonna need a little bit of cornstarch in here. Too much liquid. I use frozen cherries because that's all you can get right now. Yeah. I thought I moved into this drawer. Super handy. Super easy. Love it. It wasn't even that expensive. It only cost me like $6. I don't know. I just eat them. Well, you have to remember there's quite a few people in my house. And some of them don't like pineapple, but a lot of them do, so. And I honestly did not think there was 2 of them that I got that were not that ripe when I got them, and it was like yesterday? I think it was yesterday. We got 2 that were not very ripe, and I'm like, oh, those are going to take forever. And then they're ripening up really quickly. Just surprising, since it's not that warm here. Yeah, one year as a birthday present, my husband got me Maui Gold pineapples sent from Hawaii, so. Yeah, I just usually eat it. Sometimes I'll mix it with other fruit, but I just usually eat it. Youngest son is not a big fan, but I don't think my oldest cares much one way or the other. Okay, I do have more if I need it. Wasn't sure if I had more cornstarch if I need it. I gotta let this cook a little bit. I think might be okay once it cooks a little bit. I would like the orange and pineapple. I'm not a big kiwi fan, but that's just because to me kiwi doesn't have a ton of flavor, so I just kind of skip it. Oh yeah, that's right. I've made the chocolate ganache like twice before, but I couldn't remember. It's so yummy though. I don't know if you've ever had chocolate ganache, but it's so good. Oh yeah, I bet that would make a big difference. Yeah, I'd love to move to Hawaii so I could have fruit trees. Like orange and lemon and lime and things like that. And they grow pineapple there. I think this will be, once this cools, I think that's going to be perfect actually. I'm going to let this cool. And I got to get out a pan for my heavy whipping cream. I forgot that I was going to need that. I need a clean one. This one had oil in it, so I gotta put this over here. I don't need this right now. Put this over here. I do need my chocolate. Chocolate! Hey, come back. So I used an ounce of this, so there's only 3 here, and I need 8. Yeah, they have, down in Hawaii, they have these little small bananas. What do they call those? Baby, what do they call those little bananas? Do you remember?
Bananas?
Apple bananas, that's what it is. They're really yummy. The volcanic land over there is so good for... I can't help you, man. I can't help you. I barely understand how that works. It's, I don't know, because like they have ounces for liquid as well as dry. So, you know, to me it doesn't work out the same. I've never understood how that works either when you have something that's the same measurement for, you know, it's not liters or whatever, it's, I don't know. It seems weird to me. Sorry, it's my alarm for when my granddaughter usually gets out of school, but she's got after school gardening club. So she will not be out for another hour. Got gardening club today. And usually I would have had karate, but I went cut wood with my boys. So I told them I wasn't going to be there. This one was a 63% cacao anyway. The other one I got, that bar was 60, so. Yeah, I mean, that makes more sense, but I don't know, maybe that's why cups is the same. I don't know, this is ounces, fluid ounces is a quart. I don't know, 946 milliliters. I don't know. Ours always just never made sense to me, really. Let's see. So I had 3. I need 8. So I need 5. It's about half of this. All right. Then I need 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Flat. And my other flat one. Alright, gotta get that heated. And then I'll put it over the chocolate pieces and let it melt. this for now. This way. I'm done with this for now. This way. Alrighty. So, I just got to get this to a good boil here. Then, let's see, my cherries came out pretty well, maybe. See, cherries. Just the consistency I wanted for them. Not too thick, not too thin. Alrighty. Move this. There we go. Rolling boil. So we're going to do, pour this over the top. And we're going to let it sit for a few minutes and cover it with a towel. Let it sit for a few minutes and melt that chocolate. Then we're going to whip it. Yeah, you got to be really careful. That's why I was you can kind of hear me moving the pan around. I just wanted to get it to a boil and so I can put it over the top real quick. I don't want to let it sit so it burns because then it's not going to taste good. So I got to let that sit for a few minutes. Cut open one of my pineapples. While I'm waiting, I gotta let that sit for a few minutes, and I got about 6 more minutes. The ganache is gonna be ready to whip as soon as my, cake is ready to come out of the oven. Oh, it's actually very easy to make milk burn. It's super easy, actually. Because milk has natural sugar in it, and sugar burns very quickly. Where did I set my... There it is. I'm gonna say, I know I set it here. But yes, it's the sugars that burn very quickly. And milk has a natural sugar. I once did a fruit tray for a place I worked at, and they're like, oh, yes, true. And they're like, oh, want to do pineapple and this and that? I went, I can do that real quick. They're like, oh, thanks. The pineapple always takes the longest. I went, no, that was easy. Oops. Pulled the whole bottom out and everything. I like to do this. I can pull this top off and just slide it off, but oops, sorry. I don't care if they're perfect rings or anything, so I just do this. Go. Easy peasy. Got to get this bottom piece off though. I pulled the whole core out. Usually I don't have that happen. but I pushed down too far. Pulled the whole core out. There we go. Not bad. No, yeah. I mean, if you're doing like, if you're going to use it for something like pineapple upside down cake, you want the rings. But I don't care. I'm just going to eat it. I don't care. It's pretty yummy. It's not bad. Molly Gold is better, but you have to order those. You can't get them here unless you're on Maui. Sadly. Oh, baby. Fix. Almost. Almost. Still a little moist inside. Gotta wait just a couple more minutes. Yep, toothpick test. I'll use a fork if I don't have any toothpicks or something like that. Looks so good. Yes, it does. But that part's going to go in the middle anyway, so you're not going to see it on top. So it's not a big deal. That looks yummy. I like making this, but oh my gosh, it's so sweet. And even though I use like dark chocolate and like 60% cacao and stuff, it's so yummy. It's so rich. Yeah. That works. Very dark chocolatey tasting. You didn't see anything. I'm a comedian, I know. Get my cocoa powder that I spilled here. I don't think that's enough time. Nope. Didn't think so. A few more minutes. Few more minutes. It's getting close. Those cherries taste really good too. I do like milk chocolate as well, but since I'm adding heavy whipping cream to this, I like to go with a little bit of a darker chocolate just because you're going to add the cream to it anywho. So it's going to be milk anyway. I like milk chocolate. I use milk chocolate chips when I make cookies. When I made those chocolate chip cookies last time, that one time. Oops, I made a mess over here too. I've also here in the United States, I don't know if you guys have it over there, but we have peanut butter chips. So they're like chocolate chips that you use for like baking, but they're peanut butter flavored instead. Sometimes when I'm making peanut butter cookies, if I feel like going overboard, I add the peanut butter chips as well. So it's peanut butter cookies with peanut butter chips. Yeah, that's the thing here. Peanut butter chips. Peanut butter chips. I know we have some stuff, we have some interesting things here in the United States that I know not a lot of other places have. All right, a few more minutes on that. I'll rinse this up here while we're waiting. David, would you like some pineapple? Okay. I'll try not to eat it all on you. I think they use like a ground peanut thing to make it the peanut butter flavor. I've never looked up how they make them. I don't think I have any right now either. Milk chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips. I don't have any peanut butter chips right now. We have all kinds of things. They have mint flavored chips. I would assume so. Yeah, you can get mint flavored chips, white chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips, milk chocolate chips. Yeah, like I said, I've never looked up how they make them, so I don't know. They come out just like chocolate chips, but they're peanut butter flavored instead. I've never looked up how they do it. There may be no actual peanut in it. Yeah, I don't know if there is or not. Like I said, I've never looked. But we do have a lot of, we have like, you can get caramel flavored chips, and you can get butterscotch flavored chips. So many things here. And I take those chips and I make a super easy fudge that all you need is a microwave, a glass measuring cup like I have here, and a can of sweetened condensed milk, and you can make fudge. I've made dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, 3-layer fudge. I make 3 layers, and it comes out really good. Really smooth and creamy and super easy. Which I really like, because most times when you try and make fudge, you've got to have the candy thermometer and you've got to have everything just right to make fudge. This is so super simple. But I don't know if you guys have all the chips that we do. It just having all those chips gives me a variety to make. Ooh, perfect. I gotta try and let these cool a little bit before I take them out. Really? Oh my gosh, that would be so weird. I have at least 2 in my house right now. Because my son, our oldest son, his room, he has like a fridge and a microwave in his room. He doesn't have to come out if he doesn't want to. He's got a bathroom. But yeah, in the United States, I mean, everybody has a microwave. Yeah, that would be very, very odd here to not have a microwave. My microwave actually works as an oven, an air fryer, and a microwave. I got all the stuffs. But it doesn't cook underneath very well since it only heats from the top. Everything cooks from the top. So if you bake anything in there. Hey, Mr. Boogie, thank you for the follow. Honestly, it does change the taste a little bit. I don't like microwaving that much if I don't have to. It changes the taste a little bit. Like, sometimes, like, because it's cool here in the morning, my coffee will cool off really quickly before I even drink a whole cup. And I mean, it's not a very big cup that I'm using. Just a regular coffee cup that's not even that big. And it'll get cold before I can even really drink it. And I like it nice and hot. So I put it in the microwave and it doesn't taste the same. It doesn't. But, you know, am I going to throw it in a pan and warm it back up? No. I'm just going to throw it in the microwave. 30 seconds is more my thing. Yes. And I don't know if you've ever had American French fries, America's version of French fries. They're never as good as when you reheat them. When you reheat them, you have to eat them fresh. If you reheat them, they're mushy and they don't taste very good. It's unfortunate, but that's what happens. You can already see these separating from the sides a little bit, which is really good because they've only been cooling for a couple minutes. Yeah, there's very little that you can reheat. Certain things I think actually taste better when you heat them up the next day. Chili, I think chili actually tastes better the next day. My husband, I found, can't eat my chili though, which is freaking hilarious because my granddaughter loves it and so do my boys. Oh, I bet. Like I make my own French fries. Like, was it last night? I think it was, no, night before. Night before last, I had burgers and fries, and I make my own French fries. I just cut up potatoes and make French fries, but you can't reheat them. They're gross. Yeah, it like if I have any left over the next day, I just have to throw them out. Nobody's gonna eat them. They just get all icky, and you can't refry them. You can't do anything with them. They're just mushy and gross. So unfortunately, once they get cold, in the garbage they go. I hate waste. I hate wasting anything. I really do. But they're just so icky. I don't want to eat them. I mean, especially nowadays with the cost of everything going up and up and up. I mean, here pretty soon I might not even be drinking coffee. That might work. What do you use them for, though? When you put them in the food processor? I can see that working. And dry them out. I'll have to think about it. I wonder what I could bread. I don't eat meat, so. Hey, Black Mambo, thanks for the follow. Gravy. Gravy. You could put gravy over the fries, yeah. Sometimes I'll make chili cheese fries. I don't know if you've ever tried that. All it is French fries with chili and like a nacho cheese or a queso cheese. Like I make my own queso cheese. And my camera is all blurry all of a sudden. But yeah, I make my own queso cheese. And all I do is I make a brown butter type thing, a roux. I make a roux, and then I make my cheese sauce, and then all I add is I add a jar of salsa to it. It's super easy. Well, it's not fried. The cheese isn't fried. You just take the French fries, put them on a plate or in a bowl, put chili over the top, and then you take the queso cheese or the nacho cheese and put that on the top of it. Then you eat it with a fork. Then it doesn't matter if the fries are soft because they've got chili all over them. Right, baby?
That's right.
It is. It's very yummy. Gravy fries are a big thing over in like Minnesota and Wisconsin, or poutine type things. Those are really popular over there as well, and that's a gravy on it. So, gravy on top makes it work because then, like I said, who cares if they're mushy when there's gravy on top? Gravy's yummy. I like gravy. I thought it was funny because my daughter's fiance, she made Easter dinner, and they had leftovers the next day because she had extra. I always do too. I always have extra. And he just took some of the mashed potatoes, and I went, "Oh, well, you're out of gravy." And she's like making some gravy for her, and she's like, "Oh, he doesn't really care if he has gravy." And I went, "Oh, how dare you not want gravy?" Yes. Yes, they love it up there. Minnesota is very close. And so little Minnesota and Wisconsin, they have a lot of crossover. And sometimes when they speak, Minnesotans, I notice, sound a little Canadian. My husband and I worked over there for a number of years. Don't get me wrong. Nice people, not a bad place. Hated it there. You should have seen my lip curl every time my husband said, "Oh, we got to go back to Minnesota and work." And I'm like, I hate Minnesota. Hate it. I don't know why I hated it so much. I just did. I didn't even mind, like, no, we did work there one year during the winter. Most of the time you're there spring and summer. For his job, the busy season is usually spring and summer. And then when they don't need people as much, they just use in-house people. They don't use contractors. So typically you're usually only there during the spring and summer, maybe a little bit in the fall. But we did spend one winter out there. The thing that surprised me the most was how poorly most of them drove in the snow. I'm like, you guys get as much snow as we do in Montana. Why are we having a problem here? I never saw so many wrecks in my life, and it's not even a big city. It was just like, wow. craziness. Yeah, they don't get any colder than Montana. Wisconsin, I found, had a lot of mosquitoes. More even than Montana or Minnesota. You'd walk through yards that, like the grass hadn't been cut in a little bit because people had sold their houses and stuff. Concrete? Minnesota? What do you mean? I don't understand. So I did see one time we were working in Tennessee and they got like, I don't know, an eighth of it, a dusting of snow and a little bit of freezing rain. I have never seen a town shut down in my life. And it was a fairly big area. We were just outside like Memphis. That might have been true back in the day, but I've been in a lot of new houses in Minnesota when we worked there, and their basements are concrete or brick, and the rest of it's not. They made up back in the day, but the place that I see brick or concrete construction the most was when we visited Hawaii. They have a lot of brick and concrete construction over there just to deal with, in case like they have like hurricanes or, which they don't get too often in Hawaii, but, or tsunamis or that kind of thing. But, yeah, I've lived in Michigan and Montana, and I've worked in Minnesota in the winter and things like that. And I've driven in the winter a lot. So to see an entire city shut down, I mean, not even gas stations. There was zero open because they got a little bit of freezing rain and a tiny bit of snow. And I'm just like, this is like the apocalypse or the end of the world or something because they got a little bit of snow. I'm just like, and they had a ton of accidents. Now, don't get me wrong. None of them have the right tires and they don't have the right equipment to deal with freezing ice, rain on the roads, and none of them know how to drive in it, so they just shut everything down. But it was the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life, man. And yeah, the roads were slick, but when you're used to it, it's not that big of a deal. So I was just like, I've never seen gas stations shut down here. And I mean, in the United States, the convenience stores are always open. Not in Tennessee. Tennessee is a little bit more south, so they don't get very much snow.
I remember that one time it snowed and they shut down everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But they didn't get that much. It was not that much snow.
Yeah, it was a dusting.
Yeah, it was a dusting. But they did get a little bit of freezing rain, so yeah, they don't get a lot there. And they just don't, apparently do not know how to deal with it because, needless to say, it was the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I'm just like, in all the years we lived in Montana, our kids went to school here. Our youngest son went to school here from kindergarten all the way through high school and never once had a snow day. Not even one. It can be 2 feet of snow on the ground. Go to school. It's negative 30 outside. Dress warm and go to school, and we won't let you outside for recess. They don't play around here. You go to school. When we worked in Minnesota that one time, in the wintertime, they got a little bit of snow, and it's like, oh, school's closed for the day. And I'm like, what the hell, man? They do not drive very well. We did see a fire truck off on the side of the road as well in a little bit of snow, and I'm like, what the hell, man? Montana is close to the border of Canada, but so is Minnesota. They're right in line. Like you go across the United States, there'll be Washington State, a little bit of Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, and then Minnesota and Wisconsin. So they're all parts of those states all touch the border, except for South Dakota. North Dakota touches the border. But where we live in Montana, we're very south, so up on they call it, when you live up by the border to Canada, they call it up on the High Line. And so that they get a little bit more, I don't even know if they even get more snow up there. We live in the mountains, so where we live, there's a park down the road from us that's a mile high. Fairly, I mean, it's probably a couple 100 miles, which isn't that far in Montana terms. Because the speed limit here is 80 miles an hour. So you can usually get there pretty quickly. So anytime anybody in Montana says they're going somewhere, they always tell you like how long it's going to take them rather than the distance, because it doesn't mean anything, the distance, because we drive so fast. For a little, very short while, back in the 90s, Montana had no speed limit at all on the highway, on the big highway. Kind of like the Autobahn for a while. But they ran into too many problems, like the Autobahn. You know, when the Berlin Wall came down and the East Berlin people got to travel on the Autobahn, but they didn't have cars that could go fast. Oh, yes. Montana is very large. So, area-wise, yes, Montana is very large. It's one of the larger states. You've got Alaska, Texas, California. I think those are the only ones bigger than us. And then I think it's Montana after that. So, fifth largest state? Okay. I knew it was something close. But so yeah, we don't talk in distance, we talk in how long it's going to take us. But yeah, after the Berlin Wall came down, the people that had lived in East Berlin didn't have fast cars. They had old cars because, you know, they had been cut off from the rest of the Western world. So when they got released and the Berlin Wall came down, they would try to drive on the Autobahn and had these cars that couldn't go more than like 50 miles an hour or whatever. And of course it caused accidents because there's all these people on the Autobahn that are used to driving fast. Okay. There we go. Voila. So yeah, you got all these people that are used to driving fast, and then they would cause all these accidents because these people were driving slow. So that kind of happened here in Montana when they did the same thing, when they had no speed limit for a little while. So they had to reenact a speed limit. When I was young, I thought, oh man, that would be so cool. Is it? I don't know. I haven't ever been. I'm trying to think. I think the only country I've ever been to besides the United States is Mexico. But that's because we lived down in Arizona for a number of years when I was a kid, so we were close to Mexico. So we used to go there. Not deep into Mexico. You just cross the border into the border towns. And you used to get really cheap, really good vanilla right over the border of Mexico. It was great. Oh, really? I don't know about that. I know you can still go very fast on the Autobahn, but they did have to enact a speed limit over parts of it. I know I heard from a car show, an auto show that I was watching, that there are still parts of the Autobahn that do not have a speed limit, and you can go as fast as you want, but not all of them. That's it. 40.
Got everything?
Yeah.
Good.
You say, yes, I saw chickens, huh?
You saw chickens?
Say bark, 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 bark.
Yeah, but I don't think it nowadays, I'm not happy.
Uh-oh.
Upstairs, and I'll look upstairs. Just 1 minute, okay?
Hi. Okay.
I got it.
Okay. Did you get a sticky or something, huh, little girl?
You have to give her like a coaster?
Mm.
I don't know. Looks like a coaster. Oh, I know.
Poor tired baby.
I know.
Milk,
Been
milk,
here long,
milk.
okay? In the fridge.
Yep,
You want
milk.
some? You do?
You want some in your cup? Look, Carmen's got your cup. No?
No.
Okay.
Okay, you just want to go upstairs.
Yeah, she just wants to go upstairs.
She wants to take a nap. She don't want to nap in the car, of course.
Of course not.
Because that would make
Poor
it
tired
too
baby.
easy.
Look at her eyes.
Yeah.
Poor little tired baby, huh?
The eggs.
If you want, I can do that for you in just a minute.
Well, that's okay. I can just do it. Yeah.
I'm almost done with this anywho. So.
That's not too big a deal. What's up, little baby? Look at eggs. You like eggs, huh? You open it. Look at that one sideways. Silly egg. You remember the chicken when we seen them?
You saw some buck buck? Buck, 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 buck.
So one got kind of close to us, huh?
That's
Got
cool.
real close, huh? And it was looking at you silly.
That silly chicken looking at you, huh?
Yeah.
Buck, 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 buck.
She likes this one chicken, but it didn't want to come near us, so.
Of course.
Let's put these in the fridge. Then we'll go upstairs, okay? Okay? Upstairs? Yeah.
Upstairs. Upstairs.
In the spot? Yep. Where it goes. Okay, now we go upstairs, okay?
Losing my filling. Oh no. Yeah, this cake gets, since you have the chocolate ganache and all this whipped cream and everything, makes for a very gooey, runny cake, but It's all right. So what I do with the middle part there is I make it like a Black Forest cake type thing. Which is cherries and whipped cream, but you're supposed to use whipped cream as like the frosting. Gotta get a plate. Makes a very large mess, but that's okay because it's still very, very yummy. It did. Very spongy. Very moist. Well, usually I would. But I just wanted to cut a piece so you guys could see the inside. Otherwise, I would have. I would have let it sit and cooled. And I probably would have let the cake cool some more before I added the other stuff to it. But because I'm making it on here, yeah, typically I would. Because you can see the whipped cream it's a little too warm for the whipped cream still. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a reason I don't make things like this very often. That's super yummy. I would see myself eating way too much of this. No comments from the peanut gallery. Yes, typically you would let this cool, and I would let the cake cool much more before I added the other things to it. But oh my gosh. Mainly it's me. I'm the cherry person. Oh my goodness, yes. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish kind of letting this. As you can see, it was a little too warm, as you can tell. The whipped cream and everything's all floofing over the side, but that's okay. But yeah, so typically you would let it rest in the fridge. So that doesn't happen. And you let the cake cool a little bit more. Because it's still pretty warm. Like my plate's warm and everything. I don't have anywhere to put this up. I didn't think this through. But yes, typically you would let it cool, let everything cool so it doesn't make so much of a mess. Yes. I have a horrible sweet tooth. And a reason I don't usually make all this stuff is because I will eat it. Right, baby? He doesn't. He almost never eats sweets or anything. That's my thing. I love sweets. Really, really yummy. Alrighty, let's see. That's all I'm going to do for today. I should be back on tomorrow. I'll probably just be playing League tomorrow, though. So, let's see. Who are we going to go raid? Who am I following? Pikachu's on. She's playing League of Legends. She's cool. She might be doing co-streaming. I don't know. She's got a... Oh, she's streaming with somebody. Okay. We're going to go raid Pikachu. And I shall see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah. See, you should see you regular time tomorrow. Unless, my husband's physical therapy place calls and, gets my husband in for a time The Tuesday and Wednesday they called and got him in for appointments. So if they do that again and get him in for an appointment that day, then we will. I probably, won't be on right away. But otherwise, I should be on at my normal time. Just playing some League. I haven't even turned on League in like 3 days. What am I going to do with myself? Too bad I can't give everybody taste tests over the internet, right? That'd be great. Alrighty. I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out, Ozzy. Appreciate it. Bye.
Party is open.